Hey, what is the crack, guys? I'm the Minyon, AllCastIrishGamers, and I'm back with another Minyon's recipes. And guess what it is? It's the Skull Servant deck. A lot of hype around this deck. It's really cool. Check it out. So there was a lot of videos circling around lately about this 100% win record deck, and it was, of all decks, a Skull Servant deck. Yes, King of Skull Servants is absolute badass incarnate. All you gotta do is basically just mill your deck as much of it as you can into the graveyard, and his attack power just goes through the roof. Like, you get two of them on the field, 10,000 each. I mean, it's bread, buttered, it's over. Not to mention the fact that he also special summons himself back from the graveyard if he's destroyed by battle. But come on, that's game over. The hard part being, of course, getting your deck into the graveyard. Now, you're still going to need the odd hand trap because, sure, why not? And it's also a zombie and a tuner, so it comes in handy. A free special summon if you can get him in the graveyard. Graveyard effects always help out because that's Skull Servant right back on the field. As a good way of milling my deck, I chose to go with the Lightsworn path because it's just so easy to just mill cards. Just boom, 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 3 cards nearly every time. You've got a decent chance of putting a Skull Servant or a White Prince in there, and then you're just going to pop loads more Skull Servants. And that's the thing, so many cards in this deck are called Skull Servant in the graveyard that you just go up, attack just so quickly. Just turn 4 up to 6,000 attack. You're gonna mop some floor. And there's plenty other ways to get zombies into the graveyard as well. So you've got Uni Zombie, which is a handy way. White Mare gets them back from being removed from play, which will come in handy later. You know, because most of your effects end up removing Skull Servant from the graveyard. This guy gets one back and puts himself in the graveyard at the same time. You know, it's a twofer. You gotta have him in there. And your main man, White Prince, just most combos will start with him because he'll just set up your graveyard. This deck is all about the graveyard. Now, I can imagine if you run into maybe a Gravekeeper deck or some sort of control deck, you might be in a spot of bother. Not too many counter cards in here. But just in terms of OTK style, you don't mess around with King of Skull Servants. And with the abundance of ways of getting cards into your graveyard, just pop, pop, pop. He goes from 4,000 to 7,000. Game over. Of course, White Princess, big card to use. It just nukes everything on the field. You know, King of Skull Servants about to be scratched because he's only 1 star. It's, you know, it's very clever. She'll just destroy all the attack power of all your opponent's monsters, and then you just beat through them with attacks. So there is tactics around this. You know, control decks will try to set up their boards, but just one White Princess and it's game changer. Card destruction will help you get your Skull Servants and other cards into the graveyard. It's invaluable magic card. Lightsworns, they've also got beneficial effects. I believe Ryu's effect works on spell and trap cards as well as monsters. But the main game plan is, of course, Skull Servant, King on the field, game over. Now, I really did have a lot of fun playing with this deck, I have to say. Now, yeah, it's probably not 100% win record like I've seen in videos online in EDO Pro and stuff, but it is a lot of fun to use, and a personal favourite of mine from back in the day, because I know Petzo actually made a deck of Skull Servants. It didn't have this kind of support though, but it was still fun to use, and yeah, he was just such a hard card to beat over, that King of Skull Servants. I think I used to have to like Chaos Saucer him just to get rid of him. But you know, loads of ways of getting him out in the field now. You've got 1 for 1, which is just a straight swap. You get him out, and you know, yeah, it's gonna take a bit of setup. And that is the downfall to a deck like this. It is all in the setup. How many cards and how quickly can you get them in the graveyard? Because that's your main goal. You got a Zombie Master as well. He special summon them out if you want to go for synchros. But main objective is just 1 for 1. Get rid of him, and King of Skull Servants on the field. first turn 3000, not a bad move, you know, that's equivalent to a Blue Eyes. So yeah, he's just a versatile monster, straight up level 1, your normal summon, no messing around. You're still going to need those Twin Twisters in there. I have them in every deck, because back row destruction is vital. He has no built-in protection, so it's all on you. As usual, the synchros are kind of situational. You're not really going to get around to using them a lot. If you do, fair play, you know, you've got the options there, but I just don't tend to use them. I tend to go straight for the juggler, but you need to have this kind of variety, because you never know what sort of deck you're going to come up against. I've yet to summon him, but hey, I know he'll come in handy someday. Now this guy is just ultimate badass. Super way of getting White Prince into your graveyard during the battle phase as well, and that'll just boost up your king to go for the jugular then. No messing around. So there's just heaps of combos you can mess around with this deck. You can go into your Exceeds or Synchros, or you can just keep on powering through with your main attack force. And if you do get White Prince back on the field, go into a quick Link 1 summon, or a Link 2 if you can, you know, whatever kind of opens up. Now, because you're using 2 zombie monsters, that's how you can go into this Link summon, and he is just so cool. His effect will also take attack points off the enemy, you know, in accordance to what star the enemy or the card sent is, but because you're picking White Prince, it's only going to be, you know, non-effective. But you still get the win, because it's not about that. His main effect is to get them in the graveyard and just pile on that attack, go for that OTK. Borrowload comes in handy sometimes. You need your back row destruction, hence Phoenix. Unicorn sometimes comes in handy, but I threw in a few Link 1 monsters, because sometimes you just really want to get rid of White Prince, you know, and you don't want to have to set him and wait for him to be attacked. You always want to go for on the front foot, get the first attack in there, build up those attack points. You know, second turn, 7,000 attack. You're not messing around with this guy. Just little to no effort to get him. You know, yes, he is going to be open to hand traps and effect failure and whatnot, but that's just, you just got to go for it. Go for that win. And if you're wondering why I don't have you know, Halqui Fibrax or whatever his name is in here, it's because I just don't. I probably should. He has been popping up in quite a lot of videos I've been watching recently, and he seems just so overpowered. You know, I could use him to get Unizombie out, I suppose, and then Unizombie could get White Princess or Prince into the graveyard, so it would open up more avenues. It would be an easy swap to take out Vampire Sucker for him as well, you know, with him being only limited. So yeah, that's a quick change if you want to change that part of the deck. But yes, I advise focusing on the Light Swarms. That they are built to mill your deck. Even if you kind of just leave them on the field, they'll just kind of just mill by themselves. So yeah, very effective. Dump your whole deck into the graveyard. I mean, it's not gonna be an extended duel. You know, if you end up against someone with a floodgate, you're kind of screwed, but that shouldn't matter. You've got your own tactics, focus on that. Now again, I've gone for more back row destruction, because you can never have enough, really. You know, it's great to have Harpy's Feather Duster back in the TCG, but you know, it's a shame it's, you know, forbidden in this game. But yeah, back row destruction is paramount. Now, a pot of extravagance in there in the side deck, just in case you wanted to swap out Allure of Darkness, but I don't think you ever will. I mean, there might be a few. There's nothing worse than looking through your extra deck and finding most of the monsters you're looking for have been removed because of pot of extravagance. So either your deck's either built to waste your extra deck, or it's built to use your extra deck. And I like to use the extra deck, especially for this deck, because you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. Yes, King of Skull Servants is a great card. He is the staple of this deck, and he's going to win you a lot of games. But always need to have your backup plan, and your side deck is that. But you know, you never know what sort of duels you come up against. Check out this deck, see what you think of it. and let me know in the comments if you'd like to change anything or something you found would be a great meal card. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.